their live feeds stopped and getting violations and stuff. So I have to be really careful what we say.
We apologize for the delay, guys. So, if you know her TikTok started already at least in time, and plus we did saw the Christopher Reeve story, and we were talking about that on her TikTok. So
And it was
yeah,
emotional. It really was. We decided we actually really paid much attention to things going on politics wise. We're catching snippets here and there, but we're just keeping our heads down and
just mainly try to ignore it, but
and we're let's just put it this way: we're involved in the sense that we're keeping
hey
an eye on
JJ,
what's going on locally and that sort of thing. But we're not watching it nonstop. We'll catch a few
right?
bits here and there. If we watch it nonstop, it gets really too depressing. Um, and I understand there's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's a lot of work that's going to have to be done over the next 4 years, especially when it comes to women's rights and everything. And if this, I think it's Proclamation 7. Did I say Proclamation 7 earlier? Do you remember? I think that's what it is.
Not
Um,
sure.
that's they're trying to mandate that if women want to go on birth control, they're going to have to ask their husbands for permission.
I think you said 12 or something like that.
Yes,
I'm
I
not
mean,
sure.
you've got one of my devices, so I can't look. I don't even know where my iPad is.
It's right here. Should be fully charged.
I'm going to look it up because I want to make sure. Let's have a look. Okay. Could we connect to the internet, please? Okay. Let's just make sure oh, there we go. All right. So, let's type it out.
That ain't no big of a deal.
What?
The only Suns and Jazz only did was just trade like draft picks.
Oh, I'm trying to bring up.
Thanks.
I'm trying to bring up my. Oh, it
While
doesn't
she do
want.
that, if y'all get a chance, if y'all like the Milwaukee Bucks and all the chat and stuff that's going on, check out MR's Logic. It's a good show, so y'all get a chance, check it out.
All
He's
right,
right
let's
on
type in,
YouTube.
shall we?
So yeah, it was like this news about the Suns and Jazz was making this big trade. It ain't nothing but draft picks.
It
Unbelievable.
was really funny.
What's that?
My iPad is saying we're in Canada. No, the
Yeah.
settings are saying that we're in Canada.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Hey, at least some things going on right up here
Okay,
in
so there's two
Canada.
different acts. There's one act that people are trying to push through, which is the Right to Contraception Act, and that would apply nationwide, ensuring all Americans have the right to birth control, free from coercion. It
Hey,
said
what's up, no?
the Right of Conception Act would enshrine in federal law the right to access and provide it. That's not what I was looking for. Um, you said I said Act 12?
I think it was Act 12. Yeah, yeah, I heard that we were just about that too. That it's snowing in Florida, so
Hi,
yeah. At
baby.
least it ain't like it is up here, like being
Hi.
like
Okay, what do you want, honey? What?
like two
Oh, are
degrees
you
and
coming to
like
help me? Okay.
below was it like 20?
Everybody, this is Daisy.
Was it like 20 degrees below zero or something like
Yeah,
that? Yeah, that's what it is right now up here in Milwaukee.
let me see. Let me go to the weather because I'm having trouble finding it. Why does it keep asking, saying I'm in freaking California now? This, I swear,
It's
travel.
traveling. Yeah, it seems like it's
It
traveling
is
light.
traveling. Right, let's try and change that. I mean, Milwaukee, Wisconsin is where we are.
That,
Okay. Holy shit.
that's just the craziest
Hold on a
thing that.
minute. I've got to change this over to centigrade. I think this is Fahrenheit. This is in Celsius.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same. You're in Celsius right now. We're in temperatures that my family back in England will understand. It's like negative 18. But let me.
But yeah, theirs is
Here we go.
different from there.
Okay, we are -1 right now.
Oh,
And oh,
here?
and yes, and overnight it will be -2.
It can't
Yep.
get worse.
It can get worse.
I mean, like with the snow on top of that.
Don't even say that. Stop cussing. That's not nice of you.
Well, we know we're gonna get snow tomorrow, but at least it's gonna be like half an inch. Ain't gonna be anything
Right.
crazy. So that's a good thing.
Siri. Hey Siri. What is the act that would require women to get permission from their husbands to get contraception? Act 12.
Oh, was that 12? Okay. Oh, I was right. At least you know found that out. Um,
But basically, what it would mean is that a woman would have to have permission from her husband or spouse in order to get a prescription for birth control. That's bullshit.
and that's probably why Ivana Trump ended up wearing that black hat.
Get ready because I'm going to start getting violations because I just cussed.
Oh yeah, we know it could always get worse, but for y'all, that's probably be the worst thing that probably happened to y'all, just getting snow. It ain't just like it's you know below like we are up here.
Well, for example, yesterday our wind chill was -30.
Yeah,
Just to give you an idea of how freaking cold it was.
yeah, it had to have been one of the worst,
And because of that, we
weather.
don't get mail delivery, we don't get um, garbage pickup, the schools closed, all of
Hmm.
that lot. So it's bad.
Yeah, we had all them bad kids like going around in
Uh-huh.
school, but didn't go to school today. Well, yeah, you gotta be lucky about that in California.
So there's like I'm trying to bunch of people saying,
That's a good point. If you don't get mail delivered, you don't get bills so far, so that's a plus.
but that's where you lie because they call up. They called up today.
Oh yeah, our cable, yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Well, no. What more can we do?
So a bunch of people are saying that ISIS started raiding buildings in Milwaukee. One of them said it was Clemens, but Clemens came out and said no, it wasn't. It was actually a inspection. So I don't know if any of them have actually started in Milwaukee, but either way, um, even though my papers are all good, it still puts me in a what does that mean for me state of mind,
Right,
and I can't dwell on it. I've just got to go about my daily business. The only difference is that I'm not opening the door. And we've already said, haven't we? I'm not here.
right.
Hopefully, we'll be moving pretty soon. So, yeah.
Over sometime in spring,
Yeah.
if not summer. So
Oh my gosh. Daisy. My dog's like trying to crawl up my back.
yeah, that's Daisy, all right.
But just judging from what I've heard and what I've read, a lot of the people they're going after are people whose court appointments actually failed, and were told no, you have to leave, who didn't leave, um, people with criminal records who were here and are undocumented. But either way, you know, it's a challenge. But I want to get past that because the work that needs to be done isn't just the work that you're going to see publicly. It's going to be the stuff that's going to be done quietly. And my job in with what I do is making sure that there is a safe place for women who've experienced loss and families who've experienced loss to go to. You know, they need to know that what I do hasn't changed. What I'm going to do for them isn't going to change. You know, we're going to still be there. We're going to still be helping, and that sort of thing. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's good news. Exactly.
so
But let's see. Yeah, it was something else I was going to talk about too, but it has something to do, with these rumors for like the Bucks. As y'all know, like in the NBA, there's always going to be trade rumors or something that's actually going to happen.
right.
And the thing is like, soon as somebody mentioned like this certain type of player is like, no, we don't want them. Like, you can understand they do horrible where they were at, but if they come somewhere where they go somewhere for a new start, it's like a refresher for them, so they can like be more focused on it. Like take Brooke Lopez for example. Now I've talked about this on my YouTube, well, this YouTube channel and all that. Just like y'all jump to conclusions. Like if he sucks like the first or second year, yeah, get rid of him. But give him a chance. I would say, like, give that person a chance. Like the same thing that like a lot of people was like, don't bring Jimmy Butler in here.
Okay, this was popped up. This was done like 22 minutes ago.
We'll get back to that in a bit.
It's actually sports orientated. It's about um the burglaries of pro athletes'
Oh
homes.
yeah, including Bobby Portis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. It says so. Chilean men in nationwide burglary investigation arrest. Connection to port, whether it's connected to Portis's one is unclear. But it says four arrested in Ohio could be linked to a burglary of home of Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow. Police in Clark County, Ohio, arrested four Chilean men accused of carrying out a string of burglaries targeting multi-million-dollar homes. Chavez, Morales, Sanchez, and Cabello face multiple charges, including participating in a criminal gang, engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity, and possession of criminal tools. Grand jury indicted the four men on Tuesday, who were arrested in an ongoing investigation into multi-million-dollar homes in multiple states. An arrest report states, however, it is unclear where these homes are located. It says burglars broke into the home of Cincinnati Bengals quarterback on December 9th. While the arrest records do not specifically name Burrow, investigators found an old LSU shirt and Bengals hat that was believed to have been stolen when they did their search of the people.
Right.
So it says closer to home, River Hills Police Chief Michael Gaynor told WISN that River Hills police are working to see if the four men are connected with the burglary at the home of Bobby Portis, but would not comment further because Bobby Portis hasn't released what was taken.
Right.
Just that it was personal things that were close to him and all
Mhm.
that lot. But I think he's smart in not revealing what was taken because then if, just for example, if say somebody had a tip to say, well, yeah, they're selling Bobby Portis's championship ring, they're selling Bobby Portis's this, or you know
Yeah,
what I mean. So we'll stay tuned on that because you never know.
that's true. And for
But
them idiots that was doing that,
well, it's good that they've actually got a response to what was going on and they've actually looked into it.
right?
But because they did actually say, if you remember, that they thought it was a part of a larger ring, because there was multiple people, weren't there, who were broken into in
Yeah,
different places and everything, who were pro athletes.
right.
And then it made me laugh because people were like, well, How do they know when that person's not at home? They look at the game schedule. That's how they know when someone's not
Hmm.
home.
Especially, it's like the correct time for them to try to like take stuff at night.
Right.
So that'd be their best bet, and like better to like take things out at night. But I don't think they're gonna break in other people's homes or whatever, because either because there's always their significant other or children will be at the house. So of
Well, and
course they ain't gonna try that.
the other thing is, in my opinion, is like when it comes to those like pro athletes and everything. Say, for example, somebody just saw us leave and was like, "Oh, I'm going to take a chance on breaking in there."
Hmm.
You could probably guarantee there's going to be a TV and a game system. You can
Right.
probably guarantee that. But when it comes to like the big sports stars and all this, like you can, especially if you're doing your homework, Bobby Portis has got championship rings. He's
Hmm.
got awards. He's got money that can buy a lot of things, and especially when they actually do, you hear about them saying certain things in interviews, so they know what they're looking up against. It's when you've got, and that's part of the reason why they target them, because the black market for trade is, right up there.
It's like people
Right.
trying to get rich quick scheme and stuff like that. But I say if that's the case, just play the lottery. Like seriously, that's just crazy. Okay, I'm gonna read it now. I have an off-topic question. Don't know if I asked it before, but can you ask your wife if growing up she knew anyone who made the boat trip to pick up soldiers in Dunkirk? I think,
Dunkirk.
yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, let me tell you. Okay, so the question that is on my husband's thing is, did I know anybody who made the trip from England to Dunkirk to pick up soldiers who were there? So let me tell you, basically, I'm going to bring you up and I'll show you where I grew up in England. I grew up on the southeast coast in a little area that was called the Isle of Thanet. So I'll let you then show.
Okay.
Okay, let me just bring that up. All right, I'm going to bring up in maps so you guys can see how close I was to. Okay, I don't want that there. Flaps. Flaps. Okay. All right, so just so you guys can see. I hope you guys can see. Okay, this little bit here, this area
We'll
here
show you guys in a minute.
is where I grew up. Okay, this is the Isle of Thanet right here. And I grew up in a town that is called, well, a little town that's called St. Peter's. So I'm going to shut the screen in for you to see. So I lived in this area here. Broadstairs was here. So this is how close I was to the French coast. I was really close to the French coast. Just for an example, this is where I am. This is where London. France was actually closer to me than London was. So where I grew up, up here, where it says Broadstairs, up there is where
Okay.
I grew up, and that's the French coast. So basically, where I grew up, when there was World War II, and they had
As
to
y'all
go
can
and
see, like Brawl
rescue
Stairs.
soldiers that were on the
It's
beaches
where
of
my lady
Dunkirk.
grew up.
Little boats
I'll
would
show you
set
guys here
sail
too.
from Dover, from Folkestone, from Ramsgate, from Broadstairs, from
So
Margate,
if y'all see
all
it, and
along the
actually, no, I know
southeast
you asked that
coast.
question. Brawl Stairs is like that's where she's from.
Right, let me tell my story now. Okay, so if you can hear me over there, guys, basically what happened was all of the when there was the ships that went out with the soldiers to the beaches of Dunkirk, there was a hell of a lot of casualties, and they were trying to get people back home. They're trying to get soldiers so that they could rescue them. So lots of little boats, and that would include little fishermen, people who had their little three-person boat, and all this lot set sail from Folkestone, from Dover, from Deal, from Sandwich, from Broadstairs, Margate, Ramsgate, folks, coastal towns. They gone across to rescue these soldiers. and taken, and a lot of people were in it. And it was one of the um, biggest rescue missions by non-military personnel in World War II. Now, in regards to my where I grew up, my family wasn't in the southeast of England during that time. They lived in London. So all of my family was either in London on my mom's side or Wales on my dad's side. But you would see when you go along Margate and Ramsgate and everything, you would actually see plaques that were up saying in memory of, the brave fishermen and the brave people of the area who went and, rescued our soldiers and that sort of thing. And there was a sinking of one of the bigger boats right off the coast near where I lived. That boat was left there for a longest time, and then they actually raised it up. And it was one of the boats that actually rescued people. None of the people who were on that boat when it sank died in the sinking, because it was that close to the shoreline that they were able to swim and drag people back to the coast. But that's basically what went on. As I say, none of the people that I grew up with and none of my family were involved in that, because, as I say, my mom's side of the family were all living in London at the time, and this was before my mom was born. You got to remember the war was in the 39 through 45. My mom was born in 56. So my family was like my grandparents and my great grandparents were living in London. But in regards to them, like living in London, I would hear about bouncing bombs, and this was basically a bomb design that spun when the Germans dropped it, and it would bounce on water, so it would be able to go down rivers and take out dams and bridges and the such like. And then there was one bomb that would whistle, and when it stopped whistling, it was falling. And my nan would tell me that you would count, and then you would hear the explosion, and obviously the less number that you counted to, the closer it was to where you were. My nan got in trouble during World War II because you were told in England you weren't allowed to keep a journal or a diary containing details of what was going on and the bombing times and all this lot. And she did, and somebody found out and came to my great grandparents' home, sorry, and tried up requesting it. And my great grandfather refused to hand it over. He's like, "No, you're not taking anything of my daughters." And that is in England is called the Home Guard, which is in essence the National Guard over here.
Was it something like that movie Empire? Not Empire of the Sun, but
That was the name of the movie.
oh,
Empire.
that's what it
Oh
was.
no, the one that I showed you with the little boy.
Yeah.
That wasn't Empire of the Sun. Empire of the Sun is the one that's got Christian Bale in it when he was young. When they were in when he got held prisoner by the Japanese.
Yeah.
That was Empire of the Sun. The other one that you're thinking of, that English one, God, I can't remember the name of it now. But it was very similar to that in regards to the London part of it. And yeah, my nan told me that my grandparents were said, you should evacuate your children to a different country or a different part of England where they would be safe. And my great grandparents asked all of their children, and bear in mind, my nan was one of the youngest, and none of them wanted to go. My nan was 13 when World War II started, so she was at an age where she could, she was old enough to make up her own mind.
Right.
And her siblings were like older than her into their 20s. So, but everybody decided to stay, that sort of thing. I can't even remember that movie now. I've got to look it up.
Okay.
Is there a follow up?
So, do you speak Welsh as well?
No, but I can understand Welsh. My dad, my birth father, I will call him my birth father because I don't technically refer to him as my dad. My birth father, I have a very estranged relationship with. He actually, I've seen him, I'm 50. I've seen my birth father 4 or 5 times in my life. One of the last physical time I saw him in person, like face to face, not via a computer, he said, there's only one good thing that a woman is worth doing, and most of them aren't that good at that. Yeah. Um, the last time that I had any contact with him, He bitched and complained that I hadn't sent him a Father's Day card. I spoke last time I spoke to that man. Before then, I was 16, and I spoke to him when I got pregnant with Matthew.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, and he complained that he didn't get a Father's Day card. His Father's Day card I actually have mailed to him, and it was the first one I ever sent him. And then he started making some comments about my mom. And I was like, "You're not going to talk about my mom like that. It's like you weren't around. You are not going to talk about my mom." And he said, "I wasn't around because of that bitch." And it's like, "You ain't going to do that." And I haven't spoken to him since. I did try telling him when his grandson died. And he was like, "Why should I care?" So it was like, "Okay, you're done." It was like, I have contact with one of my brothers still, and my sister-in-law, but the rest on my dad's side, both father's side of the family, I don't. But in answer to the question, can I speak Welsh? No, but I understand it. I never actually could pick up speaking Welsh, but I understand it enough that I can translate a lot of it for you if I wanted to. The same with French. Where I grew up, you had to learn to speak another language because we were a shipping port. So we had boats coming in from France and from Germany and Belgium and the such like. And so my school made us learn a second language. For me, it was French. Can just I could scrape through. But it's like when you don't use it, you lose it. So,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
or is that?
In Dirt Kick the movie, I guess that's what we thought about that.
Oh,
Unless it was that movie that we were trying to look
no,
for.
that wasn't that movie. Hold on. Hey
Okay.
Siri, what is the movie based in England during World War II where the little boy and his sister moved to the countryside with their mom? No, it's not that one.
And they're gonna put out one. I wanted to go to London for a while now. There's a small little plot of land that there's technically United States territory. Yeah, I would not even know like what part of a United States territory that would be in England. I wouldn't know that.
Okay, that wasn't that movie.
Um
There's you could actually say about any country because if there's a consulate in another country,
or
that's
like the American ambassador or
yeah,
something
if
like
like
that.
the
Oh, okay.
American consulate building is considered part of the US.
Oh,
Their British consulate over here is considered part of Britain.
okay.
So I mean, and I know which part he's on about, but yeah, it's a touchy subject among us
Yeah,
Brits.
exactly. This is this is like what we do. We just on this particular show, like we talk about everything and anything. So y'all ask questions, go ahead and ask away. We'll
Right.
answer them. So it's like every Tuesday we do this show. Well, except for last week because I think there was a lot of stuff that was going
We
on.
did
So
it. We just did it late on Thursday.
yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying. Yeah, we did it last week, but it was on Thursday. So gonna do this every Tuesday. Normally it'll be like 6 o'clock, and like I was mentioning earlier, we was watching
Hope
something
and
else.
Glory. That's the name of the movie.
Oh, Hope and Glory.
Yeah. See, now I want to find that again and watch that because that was funny. You liked it. You laughed at it.
I don't know why I don't remember it.
I have to watch it again with you. Because
Yeah.
and the funniest thing about it is, and I remember watching this movie with my nan, and my nan loved it because, as she said, she was in between the age of the boy and his older sister.
Oh,
So by the end of the World War II, she was at the age of the older sister. And it was one of those things where she said there was so much in it that was so accurate. Like when the American soldiers came over, there was
mhm.
an American army base at the end of her street where she lived, and she said, the American soldiers would walk around with silk stockings and candy bars, and they would give it out to all of the girls to try and get a date or a hookup.
If only it was that simple for some people today, but
Now you just got to pay for their hair and some nails.
or probably give them like a big old shopping spree. Probably over here, but
It's the
England is
same.
probably
Yes, it's the same over there. Don't even say that it isn't. It's exactly the same.
okay after that. 'Cause I didn't
Uh-huh.
know. Yeah, I didn't know at all. Because I know we was in something like about that topic, like was a few shows ago, I believe.
Right. Oh, it's on Tubi.
Oh, the movie's on Tubi.
Yeah, so I can watch it on there.
Okay.
What?
Next time I deploy, I'm bringing some silk stockings.
Do you know what? It'll work. Now all you got to do is go over to England and go, "Hi, I'm American," and girls will be like, "Oh my god, you just got the cutest accent. Can I see your muscles? Do you drive a pickup truck? Because pickup trucks aren't a big thing in England. I'm telling you.
They are?
No,
Oh, they aren't.
no, not
Oh,
at all.
oh yeah. He said he's gonna watch it right now. The show you talking
Oh,
about?
Hope and Glory.
Yeah.
As I say, it's set in World War Two. And they have something, I don't know if you guys know, there was a gun that was on the coastline or in different points, and it was called Big Bertha. And it would fire off shells every so often towards the French coast. And it was just a case of letting the Nazis and everything know that, we're still there, we're watching you, we're
Mm-hmm.
watching you. And they were in, what you would find is when you go along the coastline, you would see these big cement cylinder like cylinders. They were like really big, like probably the size of our living room, for a big circle. And half of it was buried in the ground and half of it was out of the ground. And that was where the gun was on top of. Now, as kids, we used to try and find those and play in them
Mm-hmm.
because they were badass. And you would find some really cool shit in there. We would find old, like World War II drink bottles and soda bottles and all that kind of stuff. And I used to collect bottles. I do not know what happened to them, but I used to collect the bottles that we find because you would be able to dig up places.
Oh.
And like my school, when you went out into the playground at my school, there was this set of 5 cement slabs that went across, and that was the bomb shelter for when bombs were
Right.
dropped during World War II in my area. And there would be times where, like, you would have, the mines that you saw on Hot Fuzz, what that explodes at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, they were put in the water. That's what ships, they would float in the water. Ships would go into them, knock in one of those poles on the side and explode.
Be like, oh
But
God,
they,
no.
but they used to wash up on the beach like years later because they didn't always stay up there. They would sink.
Oh.
So there were times where bombs would wash up and those mines would wash up and everything. And then all of a sudden, everything would go nuts because I lived also near a Air Force base. So the Air Force would come out with their bomb squad to seal off the area. And so you used to find that a lot. And the same with people when they were renovating their backyards and
Let me look into that.
what?
He said he doesn't see that
Hope
movie.
and Glory.
Yeah.
Just type in what's streaming. Hold on. What type of TV you got? You got a Roku TV?
Yeah, no. She asked you got a like what kind type of TV you
Is it a
got?
Roku TV?
It might take them a minute.
Because just go in the search on your TV. Don't click into any apps or anything. Just go into the search.
Oh, Samsung.
Okay. Yeah, but we got a Samsung TV that's run by Roku. That's what I mean.
Oh.
Just go into your search on your TV and type in Hope and Glory. I'll show you what to. Hold on. Let me bring it up. Unless they took it off of there, but it was on there because it's saying here.
Maybe that's probably what they did. Took it out.
Alrighty.
Let's see.
Oh, they took it off and it's coming back January 31st.
Oh, okay. So the end of the month is going to come back.
Let me have a look
For
and see
those
if
who want to
there's
know.
anywhere else. Where Watch Glory for free. We'll do that one. Okay. It's on YouTube.
Oh, really? On YouTube?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Ain't that something?
Oh my gosh. Hold on. It is.
That's strange for.
Sorry, I'm going to videos because it's on Watchplex.
Oh yeah.
It's on Plex. YouTube. Daily Motion. But here's the trailer. Put that up there, Sean. It's the trailer. What'd you do?
Oh.
I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany. World War II.
Books away! Scramble!
All wheels of Britain equal to terror for the coming war. And while Hitler's Luftwaffe triumphed on the population it was defended, Billy and Rose tries to get on with the serious business of growing up.
Think they can come over here and take all women? Wasn't that your sister, Ron? Strong enough for another shot. You're going to be a grandma. Hello, Grandma! I think you hit him, Grandpa. He was slipping when he ran off. It was a straight ball. Thank you, I know.
Okay.
It is actually a funny movie. And what's the good part of it is that it is based mainly through the eyes of a little boy, and his friends and
Well, that's cool. Yeah, he got it on his list now.
awesome.
That's cool.
Have you watched Empire of the Sun?
Yeah, because that. Oh yeah, he was um, yeah, he said. Well, he's preview too. So
Yeah, as I say, it's an 80s movie, but it's so much fun. It really is a good movie. Empire of the Sun with
yeah,
Christian
he
Bale
saw it.
is like just, and it's so many. I mean, I remember watching it several times. It was one of my nan's favorite movies,
Right.
and I remember watching it with her and all this lot. But if you remember, it was only a couple of years ago when we got it on Vudu again that I said we got to watch this, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, he's in it. Oh my god, he's in it. Ben
Mm,
Stiller's in it. And it was like, wow, there were so many people who were in it that we were like, wow,
right.
that's crazy.
Kind of shocking, some of those people was in it. You're like,
Right.
wow.
I mean, it was great to see they were all in it, but even still, it's like, oh my god, I didn't know.
My grandfather was in the Pacific during World War II.
Oh wow,
Oh
so
wow.
he was fighting against the Japanese then, because the Atlantic War and the European War was against the Nazis, and the Pacific War was against the Japanese because the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor.
Oh
All
wow.
right, if you really want an interesting story about World War Two,
Yep, his great grandfather was wounded in France in World War One.
really, that would have been the trenches. That was, yeah. All right, do you want a really cool story about World War Two and the concentration camps? Ask it.
He probably heard you,
All
so
right.
just wait for him to respond.
Okay, so as I told you, my family was primarily in London, and they moved from London down to the southeast coast after World War Two. And that's when my nan met my grandfather, and they got married and the such like. But prior to that, my great aunt Bet, she was married to this wonderful man whose name was Harry. And Harry was the most gentlest man in the world. He was so kind and he was one of those people. He walked in the room and he calmed everything. And he always had an accent. And obviously, as a child, you didn't think anything of it. That was just Uncle Harry. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It was just like, that was Uncle Harry. And I'd always been interested in World War II because my nan told me some of the most amazing, stories and stuff of that. And I then asked her one day, I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I was featured in a newspaper, my local newspaper, for my project on World War II and the area we lived in. And I remember just saying to her one day, I said, why has Uncle Harry got an accent? And she said, well, you're going to need to talk to your Uncle Harry about that. But your Uncle Harry was from Poland. And I'm like, oh,
Ah,
okay, that's all I needed to hear at the time, a little
right.
girl. And so my Auntie Bet and my Uncle Harry came to visit one day. And I noticed that on my Uncle Harry, on his wrist, right, on his forearm,
Yeah.
he had numbers tattooed.
Oh.
And he always wore long sleeved items, even in the summer. He always had a sports coat on or a cardigan or something, so I never noticed it. But this particular year, and it was shortly, I think I was like 10. So it was like 84, 85. And he had rolled up his sleeves to help my nan in the back garden. And that was when I saw the numbers tattooed on his arm. And I asked him, I said, oh, I said, Uncle Harry, I said, where did you get those numbers? And he looked at my nan, and my nan said, tell her. And so he said, come on, he said, we're going to sit down, I'm going to tell you a story. So I sat down with him, and he told me about how during World War II, he lived in Poland with his family. And they were, you know, a certain dictator, and I can't say too much about the dictator's name or the party involved with because TikTok's going to kick me off and give me violations if I do. But this particular dictator um, had started rounding up Jews, the disabled, black people, gypsies, homeless, you name it. And if they didn't fit into his blue-eyed, blonde-haired, white
Wow.
ideology, then he wasn't. He sent them off to concentration camps. And my uncle and his family were Jewish. So first of all, they were sent to the ghetto, which was an area of Poland that had been set aside for that particular thing. It was to
Oh.
house the Jews in the area. And mainly it was done until certain concentration camps were finished being built, and all that crap. So he said they were there for quite a while. And he was a teenager, so he said, the actual length of time, he's unsure, but he knows that it was 2 winters that they were there. And he said it was absolutely brutal, absolutely brutal. Um, After a certain amount of time, they were shipped off to concentration camps. And to begin with, he was shipped off to a smaller one. And that concentration camp soon became too small to house the amount of people who were being taken there. And so they were shipped off to Auschwitz,
Hmm.
which is one of the main death camps that there was during World War II. Not the, but one of the main death camps. He was separated from his sisters and his mom and his dad, and it was just him and his brother who survived.
Oh
The rest was
wow.
sent off to the gas chambers, where sadly we know what the end result to that was. So he worked. He said that they ended up very, very sick due to malnourishment, due to the diseases that were there. His hair would fall out in chunks. When you got like a scratch or something on your body, it wouldn't heal because you didn't have the nourishments, you didn't have the medications and stuff. And so these, like a little cut would turn into a big wound, into like ulcers and stuff. And eventually it was coming. They didn't know it was coming to the end of World War II, but there's, as I'm telling you, he told me this story many, many, many years later. Um,
So what are the scars? He like just did the tattoos over
no,
them?
the numbers that were on them were the numbers that um, the party, and I can't say because TikTok's going to kick me off if I do.
Oh
The
okay.
NAZI party
Oh okay.
tattooed on prisoners as their numbers. They didn't have a name; they were numbered, and that was their number.
Got you.
But the cuts and everything, he said they didn't heal, and he had lots of scars, and he just told me it was from working. And I didn't question it. I was a little kid. I didn't question where these scars, you know what I mean? I got really itchy leg. I didn't question where these scars came from. I just, he told me it was a work thing. It was a work thing. I was
Right.
raised not to question. I was told also for being rude for questioning about where he got the scars from. So that's the 70s for him being raised by boomers and their
Yeah,
parents.
no, sir. Isn't it crazy how people can do that to women and little kids?
Right.
Crazy.
And so it got um, towards the end of World War II, and the soldiers at the camp, who were the guards and everything, had been given orders that they had to dispose of as much as possible in the camp. They had to burn things, they had to destroy things, so there was no evidence.
Kind of
Um,
like what they did with Empire. Not yeah,
no,
Empire of the
and
Sun.
Schindler's List.
Oh yeah, that too.
Um, so basically, what happened is that there was a group of them, and he said there was about 12 of them who were ordered to go outside of the camp with guards and find, because people would try to escape all the time, but they would get shot and their bodies would either be left as a deterrent, or they would be brought back into as a deterrent on the inside. But they were told they had to go out and get these bodies, and the 12 of them, including my uncle and his brother, escaped. And they spent, he said it was better part of 6 months trying to, find safety. Um, And he said, though, the one thing he feels guilt over is that he knew, and they all knew, that by escaping, the guards would actually kill more people in the camp because of it.
Oh wow.
But they also had their chance to escape. And he said, you name a person who wouldn't, if you've got your only living relative with you and you have a chance to escape, what are you going to do? And he knew then that the people back there, and he spoke to them. He, was reunited with some afterwards, and was told that nobody had any ill will to those who escaped. They were like, if we had the chance, we would have too.
Right.
And as some couple of them said, they were in a situation where those who were unalived um, probably got, because they were shot in the head right. Oh, I'm gonna get kicked in a minute for that one. They were um, probably given the swiftest death out of anybody who's in the camps. Seriously. So, and he made it to France.
Oh yeah, it's sad.
He made it to the resistance, who helped get him on the boats to get him back to England. He was obviously in hospital for a very long time in England. And then he met my Auntie Bet. And my nan actually dated his brother, but they couldn't
Oh.
stand each other. But my Uncle Harry and my Auntie Bet married. They had kids and grandkids and now great grandkids. And sadly, both of them have long since, passed away.
Oh.
But I said to him, I remember when I was older. So I heard that story when I was between the ages 10 and 13. But when I was like 15, 16, it was the last time I saw him before he passed away. I remember saying to him, like, aren't you still angry over what happened? And he said, and I remember this to this day, he said, anger is a waste of emotion. He said, it serves you a purpose for the short time, but in the long time, if you remain angry, you miss out on love, you miss out on joy, you miss out on happiness. He said, and I've surrounded myself with love, joy, and happiness, and I can't still remain angry for an eternity. And that kind of stuck with me that, it is okay. And especially with the horrors he went through, it wasn't like, he went through, which was a horror for us, the death of our son.
Mm-hmm.
He went through losing his entire family, except for one brother, at the hands of a tyrannical dictator, and for him to come out the other side of it and still find the joy and the love and the happiness and everything was something that I always thought that, I'm not going to let that bitterness of everything that happens in my life hold on to me.
Right.
And yeah, you're allowed to feel emotions. I'm not saying that you're not. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to scream. You're allowed to shout. You're allowed to be, so repulsed by the world that you could just scream. And you can scream. But also remember, I remember how it felt when we found out we were pregnant with Matthew.
Right.
How happy we were and the silly things that went on between then and us and him dying. I remember the late night conversations with my sister and, you know, all of the fun things that went on with her before she died. And I remember all of the fun times that we've had since, even though we miss our son every freaking day, you know. But we have so many fun times. We got a grandson for crying out loud,
That's
Who
true.
saw that one coming? Robert, I'm never having kids. And, yeah, how'd that go for you? And seeing him be this amazing dad and the pride of our son going into the army and just there's so much that we have that
Oh.
is filled with laughter and you know what I mean, that is just joyful.
Right.
And yeah, we're allowed to be sad and everything, but it's just learning, it's learning from those things. And I think that's why I with everything that's going on right now, people are so upset is because it's like, okay, we're going backwards. We're severely going backwards. And, you know, there's no need for it. We can achieve all of these other things without taking away other people's rights.
Right.
And by the way, in honor of the fact that the Gulf of Mexico has been named the Gulf of America now,
I would never call it that.
I would just like to point out that Lake Michigan is now known as Lake Maddie's Memory. Um,
Or Lake Wisconsin.
no, Lake Maddie's Memory. The Great Lake region itself is no longer known as the Midwest. It's known as the Great Hazel. And that is how we're going to leave it. So there we go.
Yeah, she was telling me about that. I think it was like a week back. That
2 weeks ago, and then I showed you it that you did it yesterday.
It should be called the Gulf of no. Anything but Gulf of America. It's like if it was named as something for like a long time, why change it?
Well, this is the thing. This is what's making me laugh. It's like where California comes down, right? That Gulf of water is called Gulf of California. That body of water does not belong to anybody. It is part of Mexico. So somebody said, Mexico, you know what you got to do. Change that to the Gulf of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And yes, technically, he can change the name of any body of water. People just don't have to recognize it around the world.
He will have the power to change that.
Yeah, there are certain things that he can. And part of that body of water is considered U.S. water, if I remember rightly. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, you're an intelligent guy. Part of that water is considered U.S. water. But I Lake Maddie's Memory.
Oh yeah, because Hawaii will still be part of.
Hawaii is not down in Mexico way.
No. I mean, you said California or something like that.
Hawaii is out in the middle of the Pacific, so we can cancel them out of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm all about California, right? Hold on, I'm going to show you. We're going to do some geography tonight, okay? So, map. All right. Alrighty. So here we go. Get that out of the way. Get out of the way. Oh my gosh, come on. All right.
So it didn't even want to leave.
So right here, okay? So this is where California is, all right?
Oh, okay.
This is the Gulf of California. But if you look right here, Mexican border.
That's Mexican border.
Right? So it takes over.
So how could...
Okay, no, but this is the thing. He hasn't renamed this. What he's renamed...
Yeah.
God, if I can freaking find it. I got to go over this side. This is what he is renamed. The Gulf of Mexico, right? Now, this here is where the Mexican border is. So technically, you've got part of this here, body of water up this end, is considered U.S. water. Then you've got international waters, which is basically international, right? Then you've got Mexican waters, which is going to be down this part here. So he has renamed the whole area of Mexico, which technically he can do for his little bit. But so what people are saying is, okay, he wants to do that, right? Mexico, here's your assignment. This is the Gulf of California that is your water. Rename that Gulf of Mexico. Now let's see him have a little temper tantrum.
He probably will with his little diaper.
So
that's the Bahamas.
Yeah.
The Bahamas is around that area.
That is the Bahamas, yeah. So yeah, that's, and then now if we want to go out further, if we want to see what you're on about. Hawiwi is out there.
Yeah, out there in that little area.
Hawiwi.
Because I don't know how it could be still called the United States, and it could be like his own.
Oh, we ain't even gonna go into that logic of that because that was taken over, illegally taken over.
Oh, really?
And we ain't even gonna go into there, and because that's just gonna open up a whole kettle of worms and really get me banned online.
That bad, huh? I never knew it was like taken over. I was just like, it's like Hawaii. It's like its own thing. This is like they took over the Virgin Islands. Is it called the U.S. Virgin Islands or something like that? Next thing you know, Trump gonna want to take over Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico's already part of the U.S.,
They never counted that as a.
but they don't count it in the votes and stuff at times.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
thought
not
so.
considered a state. But it is part of the U.S. It's the same with part of the Virgin Islands that are the U.S.
Yeah,
They've got representatives in government, but they are not counted in part of the votes, and that was brought up at when the electoral votes were.
they should have.
Yeah. So
I don't think a lot of what Trump is saying or doing in executive order is actually a thing. I think it's just a plot of negotiations.
do you know what? And yeah, I agree with you to a certain extent. A lot of that is open for negotiations because a lot of it's got to get through Congress and amends and that have got to be made. Now, in regards to like his immigration policy, there are certain parts of that as an immigrant, I will say I do agree with. Now, and I'll tell you which parts. If you are over here and you have been convicted of a crime and you are not a US citizen, you revoke your right to stay here, in my opinion. You should get shipped back to where you came from in regards to that. So if it was, say, for example, it's me. I'm not a US citizen. I'm here legally. I've got all my papers and everything. I'm married to an American, but I'm not a US citizen. So my thing is this: if I commit a crime, part of my sentence is get your ass out of my country and go back. And I agree that when it comes to criminals who aren't of US citizenship and all that lot, that they should be sent back. The gray area comes in regards to so many other things in regards to people who are here. And that would mean we would be online all freaking night long if we, really delved into that.
Yeah, that's true.
But, this whole, and like this birthright thing, does he actually realize that if he gets rid of the birthright citizenship, he's actually condemning his own kids too?
Yep. Because his parents ain't from here either.
No, so
to
technically
think of it.
he is what he's accusing people of having, which is an anchor baby. He is an anchor baby himself.
Right.
But I don't want to get into all of that rigmarole of that because there's so much that needs to be worked on outside of that. Like we have got this whole community of women who are just, and I'm just going to say from a woman's standpoint here, we are losing so many of our rights that we need the men in our lives to stick up for us and support us, especially Black women. Seriously, when are people going to get a grip and leave Black women alone? Give them the respect that they freaking deserve. They are some of the hardest working people that are out there. They will,
Majority of them, I would
let's
say.
be honest, they make it happen. If they're a mom raising a kid, they make it work for those kids.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there are bad moms. There are some bad moms all over. It don't matter what race you are. There are bad moms. Especially the woman who was in the NICU department who turned off her baby's monitoring device so she could get a freaking turkey sandwich.
Yeah, when you told me that this morning, I
Oh
thought that
my
was the
God.
stupidest thing that somebody would ever do.
And she filmed herself doing it. That's the bit that gets like, oh, and I haven't been able to have a kid. But we got bitches like that having children. Yeah, when you were in the hospital, yeah, you get hungry. I understand that. God bless her for being hungry. hungry. I would want a turkey sandwich too. But the one thing I ain't gonna do is turn off my freaking child's life supporting device to get a freaking turkey sandwich.
Well, she could have got, as you said, she
She
could have
should
got it
have rang
herself.
that bell and kept ringing it and kept ringing it and
Yep.
kept ringing it until someone came in. Because trust me, as a nurse myself, you get sick and tired of hearing that bell go off. So they would have walked their happy asses in there and she could have said, hey, I'm hungry. Okay, let me get you. Thank you so much for the likes. Can you get me a sandwich? And the nurse would have happily gone and got her freaking turkey sandwich. Have you seen the video? I'm sorry, this is going to have me on
No,
a
I didn't.
freaking roll of
But
venting.
oh crap. Okay, he was saying earlier, like calling cartels terrorist organizations, which is true. The Virgin Islands were called Virgin Islands till Chuck Norris went there, and now they are just called the islands. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, he also said, I disagree that all crimes committed makes you get deported. Commit a crime almost every day, jaywalking, and don't get me
Okay,
started on my driving.
how about a felony? A felony crime. Because if, with that being said, he's got a point, I should then be deported based on the fact that I've had 2 jaywalking tickets.
I got a warning.
I got a jaywalking ticket for walking diagonally. And when the cop said to me, why did you walk that way? I said, because I didn't see you there. I got slapped with a freaking ticket. And I got a ticket, if you remember, for flying a UK flag out of our window during the World Cup.
Yeah, and I think that's the stupidest thing they do there too.
And if you remember, on that ticket it said, because it's going to incite violence. What's it going to do? England weren't playing the US at that particular set of World Cup.
I'm thinking like y'all trying to make it like y'all against that country or something like that. They can't put the flag up.
I swear.
You see a lot of Latin people put up flags and stuff like that. You ain't giving them a ticket. It's just
my iPad keeps thinking we're in Canada. I swear to you. It's like asking for a verification code and they're saying, oh, Canada. No, I'm not in Canada. It'd be colder than that if I was.
I'm saying in that crime against people, like if I rob you or get caught selling, you try to say selling drugs or murder or any at all crimes against women and children, deport them. Yeah,
Yeah, I can go with that.
Yeah, it's just like she was saying, like maybe if they committed a felony, of course you get a misdemeanor, it's not that big of a deal, but you get like a felony. Yeah, that's understandable.
All right, I gotta wait for a code to come through on my phone, so bear with me a minute.
Oh, crimes against women or children, I'm in favor of. Worse than that.
Oh, you and me both, my man. You and me both.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't even sending me a code.
I was about to say, the next thing you know...
I'll find it and I'll show you it later. But, I mean, and I'll give you a prime example of how the justice system works, okay? And I know it's the same over here. AJ has heard this story. My ex-husband in England was a nasty bit of work. And I mean really nasty bit of work. He beat me literally to the point where if you actually look at me, you'll see that I have I'm trying to show and you can't. Nobody can.
Sorry.
No, nobody can see anyway. On this one, it would be. I have a mark here that's a scar, from where my ex stomped on my head.
Yeah, and I try to ignore it.
You felt the lumps on my head as well, haven't you? Mm-hmm. That is like bone fusing from where he like stomped on my head, and my brother walked in on that beating and beat up my ex, who went to jail. Weren't me, weren't my ex. My brother went to jail because the police department believed my ex that my brother had caused my injuries. And because I was unconscious at the time, I wasn't able to say what had happened.
Yeah.
And then when I came to, I was too scared to say what happened, which is obvious. But that then leads on a whole story of me coming over here and finding the man of my dreams and falling in love.
Michael said third time's a charm, right?
I've only been married twice.
No, no, no. I'm not saying like when you came from England. Talk about here.
What with you? You're a trout.
I-
You're a delight. I know what you mean. I'm just teasing you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate
oh,
it.
nice.
Yeah. She's wonderful. She is a big supporter of what we do and has said so many really kind things on videos and stuff. And, it's so nice when they're able to pop in and be a part of our lives with us.
Right. But if you go to a bar and walking home, a drunken public charge is BS to deport people if they are just hardworking people blowing off steam.
Yeah. No,
Hey,
I will recount what I meant when I say that. When I don't think of things like that as being a crime. You know what I mean? Because everybody should be able to go and have a few drinks and all
blow off
that
some steam
stuff.
and stuff. Yeah.
And let's be honest, it also depends on the cop that you get and all of that lot. So when I say, and I will reiterate it because I do need to make it a lot more clearer. When I say that I adore your purpose, thank you so much. When I say that I feel that those people who commit crimes should be gone, it's in regards to those.
Oh, okay, okay. He's just saying he's just agreeing
Yeah,
with you.
it's like those people who commit serious crimes. If you've committed, like, as I say, I got drunk and disorderly climbing a lamppost. My hat was at the top of it. I swear to God, my hat was at the top of that street light. I wasn't wearing a hat, but it was there.
This story is funny every time.
Oh my God. So I was back in England where I lived, and I was out with friends, and I would just say this: when I am drunk, I can do the time warp like no one's business. And I was
And
doing the time warp.
and half naked snow angels.
That's different. That was over here. That doesn't count for my England shenanigans. Okay, so I was with a group of friends and I was trying to climb a street light. And a cop said to me, "You gotta get down from that street light." I said, "I can't get down from the street. My hat's at the top of it." He went, "There's no hat up there." And I went, "Bitch, are you blind?" I said, "My hat's clearly at the top there," and proceeded to climb up there. And they told my friends to get me down, and I hit a friend. And then I got a drunken disorderly ticket.
Well, at least I gave you a ticket.
It was a fabulous hat, though, even though it wasn't there.
It's just like for let's see, for example, me get a ticket for driving.
Oh, my, the loud muffler that they arrested you
Oh
for.
yeah, that one too.
Oh, my gosh. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the one that we came from the store and we was heading back to because we
We
was
had
living in.
picked, if you remember, we picked up all that bedroom stuff for Robert, hadn't we?
Yeah, we was going back to South Milwaukee where
Milwaukee.
we used to live.
And we got pulled over. And they were like, and it was funny, this cop, you could see from the minute he got out of there, he had an attitude. Big fat white dude. I remember that. And I remember him pulling you aside, getting you in handcuffs that they had to use 2 sets of.
Yeah.
And the cop then came up to me and he was like, "Are you being held against your will?" And our son was 9 at the time, if you remember. And he went, "No, that's my stepdad." And the cop looked at me and went, "Are you sure you're not being held against your will? Is he trying to sex traffic you?" And I'm like, "No, we live together. But are you sure he's not trying to sex traffic you? Why would a white woman be with a black man?" And my son, who's 9, is going, "That's my stepdad. That's not a black man. That's my stepdad," which is, I love how kids' minds work.
Like I didn't hear this story because I was arrested in the back and just.
And so then he
whatever.
started saying, he goes, "Well, give me all your details. Give me all your details." So I gave him my details. And he said, "I don't believe that's your details." And he proceeded to, if you remember, empty my purse.
Mhm.
And he was going through my purse. He was pulling everything out. And then he told you, "Well, I can't find her in my system. I can't find her." And then the female cop pulled up and said, "What are you arresting him for?" And he was like, "Well, his muffler's loud." And she's like, "And you're arresting him?" And he was like, "You questioning me?" Like, this is female officer. So I saw her go like this and step back.
Wow.
And then I said to the cop, I said, well, what am I going to do with the truck? He said, well, it's going to just get towed. I said, well, can't somebody just drive it into that parking lot? It was right by a park and ride.
Yeah.
And so he did that, if you remember, left everything unlocked, wouldn't let me get the keys from it. He left the keys in the ignition. I had to try calling my friend Julie, but she worked night shifts, didn't she, at the time? So she didn't answer. So the cop had to get permission to take me, my son, and our 3 dogs back home, which included this one here, actually.
Yep.
To get us like all back home, and it was just like a nightmare. And that was over a loud muffler. But you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, got progress and all that stuff. Then was just sitting there. Then, of course, I ended up calling her because they was like, okay, that shouldn't not be that big of a crowd. I think they gave me a ticket.
They did.
They gave me a ticket and just let me go. And
if you remember, we went back and challenged the ticket.
Yeah.
And they wiped it off. They said, okay, because we challenged it, because why were you arrested for a ticket?
Right.
And they were just like, the judge was like, I'm just going to vacate that. But then I want to tell you, this is how ridiculous at times this area can be. We used to do our Wave of Light events in Shorewood, didn't we?
Yep.
And I'll say this, there is a beautiful, beautiful view across the lake. What's he saying?
Oh, I do think our system is effed up, though. We need to make incredibly easier for people to get here, but we also need to know who comes
in.
Yeah, comes in, but it's too hard so people cross illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
But this is how weird things are. We actually used to have our waiver event like at Shorewood. And Shorewood's got this beautiful area, don't they, that has this, it overlooks the lake, and it's got this almost like a pavilion with a fence line. And what we would do is, I would get LED candles. We would read the names, get some flowers, tie the names to the flowers, and put the LED candles in there and leave it. And I would actually get ticketed by the police for, why have I got a dot on my screen? Oh, okay. I would get ticketed for littering for doing that. But yeah, so that's why a lot of things have changed. But we still do our Wave of Light events, and we didn't get ticketed this year. But if you remember, we got ticketed the year before for filling up the garbage can too much.
Oh, so the place we do that now?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if you remember that. I showed you the ticket.
You may have, but I don't remember.
They said we filled up the garbage can too much. The garbage can wasn't overflowing. If you remember, we had crushed everything up, folded it up, put it in garbage bags, tied it up, and then put it in the garbage can. And they said there was too much litter in the garbage.
And this was before we started having like food and stuff there.
No, this was the first year we had food. This was the first year we had the cookies. But
yeah.
It wasn't masses of stuff.
Right.
This past year we had more because we had the pizza boxes and
the nothing but cakes.
Yeah. Okay, keep talking to people. I need to go get a cup of tea.
Okay, and we still had the cookies from this same lady that she like gets it from, and let's see.
Phenomenal.
Oh yeah. And some of the stuff that we use from the not the Wave of Light, but the Walk to Remember, yeah. Yeah, some of the stuff we did like use then.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And yeah, it was really like a big hit. Like I think we had like, like what was it, like 2 pieces left?
What, of pizza?
Yeah.
Okay. No, pizza we had literally an entire pizza left, but it was odd pieces from the other pizzas.
Oh, okay. I think it was it's got to be 1.5 because I know it was a big old box, another box full of it. Then it was some like other pieces from another one.
Yeah, we had about 1.5 pieces left because if you remember, it got cold really quick, so people left pretty quick afterwards.
Right.
So we gave Maggie half a pizza to take with her to give to Grandma, and then we had some. Then we had all those chips that we brought back home with us that we were trying to get people to take, but they were like, "No, we're good."
They just wanted the pizza.
Then all the water. They
Some of the
wanted
cakes.
they wanted the cake and the cookies. So
Yeah.
it was fun.
So yeah, it was nothing about, and I can't wait to do that this year either. So
I'm still waiting to hear from him about whether we can have the bridge or not.
oh oh yeah, because it is around that time you normally would
But
make
it's
that.
only January, so I'll give him till mid-February and then get hold of him again.
Okay. Then try to figure out how much we got to raise for that, which is good for like a nonprofit company that
Yeah.
they will normally would give her a deal. So
Yeah, normally it's like 1,500 to 2,000, and they give it to us for 5. And the savoury of a sweet girl, I would have taken the chips. Oh, and this was the thing. There was a lot. The kids took the chips. We'll say that the kids took the chips, didn't
right.
they? And we were. This is, and I love. God bless these people. We had how many with 2 of those big boxes, didn't we, of chips? Then
Hmm.
we had um the popcorn one.
Yeah.
Then what else did we have? We had the Cheez It crackers, the ones that are already made up.
Yeah.
Then we had regular cookies, like the Chips Ahoy cookies that were 2 in a pack.
Hmm.
Then we had the cookies that I purchased that were custom made.
Right.
And so we're literally trying to give this stuff away at the end of the night. I'm telling all these people with kids, like, do you want to take some snacks home for them for school? No, 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 you keep them, you might need them. It's like, this is our last event of the year. This is like our last event because let's be honest, the Wave of Light is almost like our New Year's Eve. It's like the end
Mhm.
of one year sort of thing. And it's like, oh my God, we got all these chips. But that brings us on to another story. Okay, so when I say we had all of these chips, we had like, I would say about 25 bags of chips left, didn't we?
Hmm.
And we just said, didn't we? Okay, that'll work out good. We were going to take some over to our son's place so that my grandson had some snacks there because we had like the healthier ones, and our grandson loves like Cheeto puffs, and we had the white cheddar. I have to keep my voice down a little bit because it involves the roommate.
Oh yeah, that
So
story.
I had them in, the cooler bags. Oh, well, I have graduation party to plan. Oh, honey, I would be on that, and I love her. I can plan. I'm telling you now, I can plan. Um, so we had I had this big blue bag that's about this wide, about this high, that I filled up with all the chips. And I said to everybody, don't eat the cheese puffs because I want it for Jace, and don't go crazy on them. I went away, didn't I, to Maggie's for the weekend.
Hmm.
You had wrestling shows that you went to because it was still a busy month for you because you still had wrestling stuff to go to.
Right.
I was gone on the Saturday. There was 25 bags of chips there. I came back on the Sunday. There was 4 bags of chips. I'm not joking. 4 bags of chips. I looked at him like, how did 20 bags of chips go?
Make
So,
it make it 19 because I think I
no,
put.
hold on, because so I said to you, didn't I? I went, how many bags of chips did you have? And you said you had a couple.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So we're at 18 bags of chips. And then I was like, okay. I said, tell a lie. I got a bag in my bag. Because I took a bag with me and forgot they were in there.
Hmm.
And I'm like, where the hell are these chips go? Our roommate took all the bags of chips. She's my rainbow baby. Oh, even better, rainbow baby. So I love
No,
that.
I understand.
So excited. Um, our roommate had taken all of the bags of chips and hidden them in his room so he would have snacks. I was pissed
Yeah, she was livid.
because the money that was used for that was money that had been donated to us specifically for snacks for Manny's memory. Mary, be careful. And so I was really angry. It's like, okay, how, and I made it clear, didn't I? All of a sudden, chips are back there the next day. All of a sudden, they're back. And I said, look, when it comes to those ones, didn't belong to the household. They belong to Maddie's memory. So you needed to have asked if it was okay. Said, I told you could have a couple of bags. That's not a problem. We need to have double checked. Because if you remember, we then got invited to do that domestic violence thing with Cynthia. And I said to
Yeah.
Cynthia, do you want me to bring chips? I got all these chips left over. And then I tell her, I'm sorry, I can't bring them. I don't know where they've disappeared to. But it was the same with a lot of things. And this is where, literally since then, we've actually um, said to him that if he wants to be a part of the stuff that we do like that involves food like that, he is going to have to, contribute more towards it because it seemed like the only time there's any help from him is when there's food or
Or
something in it for
that is,
him.
yeah.
And as I say, for example, it was like when he does artwork for us, I always pay him. I buy him the markers that he needs and the paper that he needs, all of that stuff, as well as, I say to him, okay, how about I buy you dinner as a thank you? So it's like getting a bulk of stuff. But now it's a case of when I ask for those things to be done, it's like, well, I don't know what you want. We went rounds. He's done the artwork for 5 years for the Wave of Light. And this year we just butted heads over it because I said, you've got, like, just do what you want. You know what we've had. You've done it for the past 5 years. You can do whatever you want. And then it was like, I don't know what you want. It's like, you've seen what we do. Yeah, but I don't know if that's the right thing. And it was just like, okay. I said, fine, don't do it. I'll do it. And when I came back, he actually had done it, if you remember that one day. And I was like, okay, thank you.
But
But
know this, she's a good artist herself.
I'm okay.
She thinks she's okay, but she is a very good artist. Whether she believe it or
I
not.
would love to design. Oh, do you know what? You and me we got, Libby, seriously, girl. My dog approves.
Well, she's getting her shine, ladies and gentlemen.
This is Mama. Libby, do not smell your mom's ass.
You mean, yeah, Mindy.
That's what I meant. Um, are you having your moment on camera? Yeah, we need to talk because I would love to get a baby lost mama's idea on certain things as well. That would. Are you good? Thank you. Appreciate it. I apologize for those of you who had the close up.
Yeah, exactly.
But oh my gosh. So yeah, as I said, when it comes to what we do for Maddie's memory, I really, really love getting the involvement of baby lost families. And yes, I'm a baby lost mama. My precious little boy was stillborn at 21 weeks. Um, we've had other losses, so we should have had a pretty big family by all it means. A pretty big family, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We do in our hearts. I have a design that I made after I lost my twins. I would just like to share. Oh, absolutely. If you want to get a hold of me to share it, I don't know if we can send pictures through Messenger on here, but if not, find me. See my logo up here? Hold on. See my logo up here? Click on that and go to my link tree, and it should have all the other ways you can contact me because I would love to share your work. Send me whatever you want to, all your details. I will make sure people know it's you, from you, and everything. You still have, absolutely, I'm on Facebook. My link tree will actually have my Facebook link in there. Hi, are you back again? You're gonna sit down. Um, but I do like to, you know, involve other baby lost parents in what we do. My friend Michelle is a baby lost mom. She came up here actually for the Wave of Light, was a huge help. Like,
For the past 2 years,
yeah,
yeah.
she's been a huge help. Um, but she does a lot of the metalwork and the necklaces and stuff that you see and design stuff. And whenever I reach out, I'm like, oh my God, help. She's there. I need an oh my God, help me person. My friend, same with my friend Maggie and her family, they're phenomenal. Like when I say I need this, and this of coming together and all that good stuff. Oh yeah, I love her work too. Yeah, she's her stuff is spot on. So a lot of what we I try to do is when I'm doing stuff, it's like when I did these NICU graduation gowns. Originally, I wasn't going to do them, and I asked a few people who I know who are NICU moms whose babies came home, and said to them, "Okay, what do you think of this?" And they said, "Oh my God, that would be the cutest thing. It would be so nice to, have to be able to keep." So it's like, okay, I'll definitely do, that. And that's why, and I don't know if anybody saw it, but that's why we had the NICU graduation gowns. But because I think they're so stinkingly cute, I'm going to show them again because I have to show it again. I'm going to show you this one with the little graduation hat too. Let's get that out. I got the hat in here as well. Are you ready for cuteness? This is beyond cute. I'm telling you. There we go. That's the graduation, NICU graduation gown. And then you ready? Are you ready? Look, 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 look. The little hat. This is a little camper gown. Oh, cuteness overload. Cuteness overload. It's so freaking adorable. But I did ask, like, so as I say, some NICU moms, okay, do you think this is a good idea? And they said yes. And to have it in different colors as well. So I'm going to, try and get the fabric to do a whole array of but tomorrow, not tomorrow, Thursday, I'll probably do a couple more. Let me show you the cap, okay? Because I'm proud of the cap. Let me show you. So the no-sew hats that we make. I took one of those. If you look, that's it there. I took one of those and sewed the inside. So instead of having the rubber band around the top, I sewed the inside, then sewed the square, and I had tassels. So it's like that. I'm sorry, we're ignoring your lot too now.
Um,
I don't know what that man's doing.
or is it downstairs?
If that's downstairs, then they're right outside our kitchen door. Going through our stuff. Hold on. Mike, was that you? Okay.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
I had to check because, yeah, it really did turn out great.
And the sad thing is, like people downstairs, well, they're kids, I should say. They know from taking stuff from us.
They actually stole, didn't they, a whole tub of Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
And this is the thing how we found out that it was theirs. I had to make some coffee. Oh, I've got tea. I'm notorious for my tea.
Notorious TEA.
I hope you. I hope your head feels better. I know sometimes just having that little kick of caffeine does actually, help. But our neighbors downstairs, we had a tub, didn't we, of Beanie Babies that were
Yeah.
on our landing that they shouldn't have. They had no business coming up here. Um, Especially if they have the whole entire basement to themselves. And basically, what happened was the tub went missing. And I looked everywhere. I was thinking, I remember coming to say, did we move it? Did we put it somewhere? No. And so I knew they were all outside this one particular day. And so I went out and pretended I was on the phone with the cops. And as soon as I shut the front door, I heard the wife going, "Oh, she's making accusations to us about a box of Beanie Babies that aren't even worth anything." I didn't even mention, I just said a plastic tote with stuff in had been taken. So there we knew it was that. It had hysterectomy in November and my hormones are getting back. Oh my gosh. How are you doing since that? Are you recovering okay? I know that is a horrible surgery. What?
Go ahead. I'll say it in a minute.
Okay.
Just finish your story.
So we did catch them out on, the fact that they were stealing stuff. And it's not the first time yeah, they're great. Not the sarcasm.
So, breaking news, and I know it's going to be upsetting to some Bucks fans. Bradley Beal is open to waiving his no trade clause to join the Bucks. So
A 14 trade?
yeah, it's gonna be a 14 trade.
Okay, I thought you said a 14 trade. I'm like, oh, say that again. 14 trade. Like, holy shit.
A 14.
You're going to end up with one player on the team. Like, god dang.
But yeah, so most likely we are going to get Bradley Beal, but who they're going to trade for is going to be the question. And especially he's going to be due for like 50 million next season. So we will have him for the next, was it like 2.5 years? Um,
Is he going to be worth it though?
um, yes and no.
I suppose the proof is in the pudding.
Right, because you know a lot of people were saying that about Brook Lopez and how he turned out ever since we got him. So there's just like some players they was like, oh, don't get them, and they end up turning great. But there's like that very few players that just like, why did we get them?
Yeah.
So
well, I'm glad your hormones are sorted out. Did you need to go get more blood to check? Please do. Please go
so
get
you
that
know,
sorted.
I'm going to mention this in a separate video too when we're done here for like
Which
the
we
Bucks
will
report.
be in 15 minutes. We'll be done at 9.
Yeah, fair enough. So I will do a separate video on this one for the people that be watching on YouTube. So you guys that's watching on Twitch or if you're on Hazel's TikTok page, look for WFSO on YouTube. If you're interested in sports stuff like the Bucks.
Please go and see me on YouTube.
Yeah, go see her on YouTube
I have 4
too.
subscribers on YouTube.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, but I've only got 4.
We will push that. You know what? I'm going to start mentioning it too. So since WFSO is a sponsor of Maddie's Memory, so
yeah.
I'm going to start saying that. But yep, yeah, we already seen half the people already upset. I'm going to read out some of the comments. One person said, "Nope." Let's see. Out of all three, Beal, Thomas, or Levine,
I'm just
neither
trying
play
to see
defense.
what my updates are. I'm a Browns fan. It's hard.
Hey, we understand, and I do like the quarterback, so don't get me wrong.
So yeah, he's a Packers fan.
And you're a Dolphins fan.
I am a Dolphins fan.
Like, I'm not upset, but I understand why you're a fan of them. I don't hate Miami, so the football team I don't hate, but
and then basketball wise,
yeah, we both wearing the Buck shirt.
Is this water I've got on me? I got water all over my titties. That is water. I'm too old to be leaking anything.
Did you do the dishes earlier?
I did do the dishes, so that's why.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If you don't come in with a wet t-shirt, are you even doing the dishes?
I guess I'm lucky.
Calm yourself, lady.
I forgot who their tight end was. I'm sorry.
Njoku Brown.
Okay. He probably saw when you was talking about your scar. He saw. I'm one of 4. Nice. Let's see. We got people like no. Leave room for Jimmy.
David Njoku is the tight end. She's having a moment over.
Okay, I gotta look him up because
I'm
they don't show that many Cleveland Brown games over here. So
all right, I'm gonna have a look because I want to see. I want to see what she's saying. He's a cutie patootie. So
about to say, didn't they made the playoffs like 2 years ago? Right? I think they did.
I'm just gonna get the right.
No, thank you. Lead the team as is.
Oh.
If Force does this, he needs to be escorted out of the building by fans immediately.
Oh.
Okay.
I love you, honey, but girl.
I can't see from here. does look familiar.
Look at that. What a prime specimen. I'm probably old enough to be his mama. Okay, let me go see how
What?
old he is. All right, let's see.
So, oh, sorry, Mindy. Let me get down.
Let's have a look.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm old enough to be his mom. He's 28.
That probably won't stop anybody.
That's stop me. I've got limits. He is quite delicious, though. Wow. Totally understandable on that one.
Ooh.
Your son is 6'4". Oh my god. You poor woman. That is too expensive. I'm thinking of the shoes, of the clothes, because my husband is 6'6". I'm about the same height as your daughter. I'm 5'6". My son is 6'1". My hubby is 6'6". And they all have an affinity for shoes. All right. I have a thing with pillows. I like my pillows a certain way. I'm 5'7". Oh, so you're a little bit taller than me. That's okay. I'm fun size. Oh, I'm so tired. It's in the end of 14. Oh my god. The expense. Like, oh, I can't even. It's true. Kids will, they're expensive. They are so expensive, having kids. Like, crazy, crazy expensive. Ooh, I know. And it doesn't even end when they leave home either. You know, my son's 25 this year, and the cost is still, it's still there.
Sorry about that.
I just realized you're still wearing your Christmas hat.
Yeah, ever since I went outside.
I know.
Oh my god! And I know I gotta go back out there one more time for them.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Self-promotion
my
is
lord.
alive with filter to protect the community's experience.
Oh yeah, that has that like everywhere. Somebody must have said something in.
Well, I just said that the dude was nice.
Well, it probably ain't just you. It's probably like somebody else too. But I
Oh,
know YouTube does that
whatever.
too.
Do you know what? TikTok's been on some crap ever since it came back. You literally, okay, Facebook and Instagram weren't on TikTok before. Okay. They all of a sudden disappear and then come back, and TikTok and that have pages you can follow. And my algorithm on there was completely screwed up. I was seeing Cheeto supporters and all of that lot. As soon as I blocked Instagram and Facebook, their pages on TikTok, my algorithm went back to normal.
Say their name and they disappear.
Yeah, my son is a string bean. Yeah, my son is like really skinny and tall. Ah, Mindy.
Good catch.
I know I'm impressing myself. Yeah, and I don't know about you, but everything is like really ultra sensitive now in the sense that, you know, certain things you could say before you can't say now. And like my videos, I'll give you an example. There is nowhere recently that I have shown my dead son. I've shown his headstone. I've shown stuff I make in there.
Yep, which y'all can see right
And
here.
I've on it, yes, censored exactly. And on it it's come up like, this may, other viewers may find this disturbing. I was showing a burial gown.
How that can be
I
disturbing
don't
making
know.
a burial gown?
I don't know. I tried putting up one when I was at Maggie's, and this was Saturday right before it all shut down. And what we had done was we were doing the what you can't ask that questions. Hold on. Why she didn't tell me? Are you back again? Oh, okay, fair enough. Um, this is this is the daughter of the white one whose ass you saw earlier. She's 12, so
Oh, don't worry, y'all can still adopt.
this one here. Are you gonna say hi to everyone?
She'll
No?
give you a handshake.
Give me nothings. This one I delivered. She got stuck being born, and so I had to pull her out.
Yep, and her birthday was like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, she's 12.
She's somewhat of a New Year baby in a way.
She is. What? Oh, there. Say hi. You gonna say hi to everyone? No, don't put that down. Say hi. See, she's gray. She got gray in her face now.
This one just like got like ears turning white. And that's it.
Yeah, it's not baby.
Oh yeah,
But
pretty good.
this one we actually said was our gift to us from our son who died
Yeah.
because we found out their mama was pregnant with her and her siblings about 3 months or so after
Yeah.
Matthew died,
Yeah.
and then this one got stuck, and Robert wanted to keep her. Mindy, we called you Mindy. Mindy the Moonbed.
Well, half of the her kids like had names that
Yeah.
rhymed.
We
Well,
had
except for
Mindy,
Patrick.
we had Mindy, Muffin, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one?
Well, we said Patrick. And,
Patrick was the little boy. He was a little barrel. Oh my God, who was the other one? It was the little black boy. Amy, no, Amy was the one. Maggie. Anne. Ali.
Allie, yeah.
So,
The one that didn't live long because
Yeah.
of what our other dog did to it.
yeah. And then this one here is, I don't want to say she's spoiled, but she's spoiled. You looking around? Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. I know. You're beautiful. We love you.
Yes, you are.
You're beautiful. We love you.
And the little one is around here somewhere.
She's the little one's under here.
Oh, yep, I feel her.
She's like hiding. So
We're one from teeth.
yeah. So all right. On that note, we are going to end this live.
Right, and for the rest of y'all, check out YouTube because I will talk about more about this
from the Browns training camp just for a few weeks. So much fun. Oh,
about that possible trade that might happen.
I'm sorry.
Oh, what happened?
She got a dog and it passed at 15 weeks. So we're gonna head out of here. Find me on YouTube. It's Hazel Jones 9. I don't know why. I tried having it as Maddie's Memory, and for whatever reason, you can probably actually search for Maddie's Memory and it will pop up.
Right.
Just look for the same logo. Catch us all there. There'll be more videos posted tomorrow at some point, but I've got a busy day tomorrow too.
Oh yeah, we all
Much
do.
love to you all. Thank you so much for being a part of us. Thank you for the likes, and catch you all soon. Much love. Mwah. Bye.
And like after you guys on here, please like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Like I said, our main goal is trying to get 500 by the end of the month, 500 subscribers, and our main goal is at least get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So that's what we're hoping for and shooting for. After you guys that's watching on Twitch, we're gonna have like a lot of live videos coming up. So please follow us on here and plus share the channel here and on YouTube, wherever we be live or pre-recorded. Show the support. As for YouTube, we have over 2,300 videos and counting. So y'all get a chance, maybe there's some videos that y'all be interested in. But yeah, this is the only show, the Jones Chronicles. We just talk about everything and anything. Either if y'all do have like some questions or anything like that, we will answer them. So it's kind of like a open space for everyone. It's like the same thing. Look for my wife's YouTube channel. I already know some of y'all already subscribe to it, so just share. It's
All
like,
three of you. Thank you.
but yeah, please check it out because there may be some stuff that you may want to learn. Especially how he does like burial gowns and also
And
stuff.
I'm not one of these ones who does them perfectly either. So when I screw up, which you'll see on my last couple of videos, I screwed up when I was making them. Like I sewed and there was no thread in my sewing machine, and I made a mess and had to unpick stuff and all of that lot. So I don't just show, oh, this is the right way of doing things. It's like, let's fuck this up together. Seriously.
Yeah, look for her. Also, check out our other shows we're doing in the past, and also check out the website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com. Of course, stuff shows that's coming up in the Midwest wrestling wise. You can check out WFSO Radio Network for like showtimes of like the other shows that we do. So that will explain more on that, and spread the excuse me, like spread the word about this channel. A lot of content we got and different topics and different things we talk about, like our, of course, Milwaukee Bucks, wrestling, comic book movie and TV news, and also developments that's in Milwaukee. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this show, come back next week, and I think we'll be back at our regular time, which will be 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, and that will be 4 p.m. Pacific. So we're getting out of here. Like I said, some of y'all on YouTube, stay tuned. We will talk about more about the possible trade, and we are out of here. So until the next video, you guys have a good one. Peace out.